Hello everyone, welcome again to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video, and the second video of today, and I swear they're doing this on purpose. I should have just waited. I just did a video this morning talking about how the Death Touch card and what we thought Blood Rot Pox meant and the other two tokens. I recorded it, went to upload it, and the second I hit upload, or about to hit upload, Blood Rot Pox got spoiled through a card picture. And then I upload another video talking about basically the same stuff and then talked about Blood Rot Pox. The second I hit upload and it actually uploaded, then they spoiled what Inertia and what Frailty are. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the power levels, talk about what the tokens are, so you all have all the information, and just go through it. I only showed the tokens. They did show some attack actions as well. We can go through those later once everything kind of settles for the rest of the day. I won't keep making videos, but this will kind of give you an idea of what each of these are. So we went over Death Touch. Death Touch is a 1/6 assassin ranger attack action. Can't be played from hand, so probably has to be played from Arsenal. When it hits a hero, create a Frailty, Inertia, or Blood Rot Pox token under their control. If you want to have my thoughts on this card, go watch my last video. Watch that one first, then come to this one, and we can kind of talk about it. It's up to you. So we're going to talk about the three tokens. So first we have Blood Rot Pox. So this is, I originally predicted that you would basically get dealt damage, that your end step. Turns out I was right. So at the beginning of your end phase, destroy Blood Rot Pox. It deals 2 damage unless you pay 3. That's pretty nuts. So, you have to pay essentially a blue to prevent 2 damage, which, like we said in the last video, is really good. Most blues in most decks are block 3. So you basically have to pitch a block 3 blue to only prevent 2 damage. That's pretty nutty. If you can stack these somehow with maybe 2 Blood Rot Pox, that means it's going to deal 4 damage. They have to pay 6. No one's going to do that in the game unless you're like Guardian or something. And even them, it's going to be really hard because you're probably going to deny their arsenal if they do that. So this is a way to whittle your opponent down. It's pretty disgusting. And essentially what it does is it makes Death Touch a 1/8. If Death Touch hits and you create a Blood Rot Pox token and they don't pay for it, then it's essentially a 1/8, which now makes it literally the best value attack action in the game. I can't think of one that's better. 1/7's been the highest so far. So super good, super insane, really good effect. Then we have Frailty. Apologies for the pictures. These were literally taken at the Calling Indie Min-Max booth. I think people were just taking pictures with their phones and sending it to Flesh and Blood, so pretty nuts. But Frailty reads, if you can't read it, your attack action cards played from Arsenal and weapon attacks have -1. So if anyone plays it, so if you put this on an opponent, their attack action cards played from Arsenal and their weapon attacks have -1. This is pretty nuts. This card's actually pretty crazy. So this card's going to hurt a lot of maybe decks that are trying to Arsenal a really good card. It'll be a really good counter against Ranger in draft, right? And in sealed when we do that in the Outsider set as a whole, right? Being able to make a Bolton shot come in for 3 or something like that, right? Or even this will turn off Spider Bite, right? Like Spider Bites will come in for 0. Kadachis will come in for 0. Any 1 power weapon will come in for nothing. This is basically like Dissolution Spear for Dash or Mechanologist, but in assassin form. It's pretty nuts. It's a generic token too, which means it's not class specific, which means there's multiple classes you can make this, obviously. And they might have classes in the future that can make this because they didn't make this an assassin ranger aura, right? Or token. They made it generic token. So all these are generic tokens, which kind of leads to maybe that there's more ways and more things that we haven't even seen yet. So pretty nuts. Basically makes all 1 power weapons obsolete when you have it, and then it also hurts anything you're trying to play from Arsenal if you're trying to play a really good card. A little bit off of what I said that it would give -1 power when blocked, so it does give -1 power but the wrong conditions, but we got close, so that's pretty cool. Really cool card. It's going to really hurt a lot of decks that are trying to outvalue you in certain ways, especially with weapons. It's going to hurt Warrior too really bad. Like Dawnblade has a -1 counter when it attacks like this, right? So even if they have a 1 counter on their Dawnblade, they now have a normal Dawnblade, right? Really good. Centauri Sabers will only come in for 1. The list goes on. Just super good card. And then we talk about Inertia. The glare is insane, but it reads, at the beginning of your end phase, destroy Inertia. Then put all cards from your hand and Arsenal to the bottom of your deck. This card is the most broken one, in my opinion, because they can't. You're not most broken, but for the meta right now, so many decks rely on Arsenal and rely on holding cards and outvaluing you. This is basically not quite seek and destroy because you don't discard all cards, but you do put all cards. This denies Crown of Seeds with Oldheim. It denies Arsenals with decks that really want to do it. And the cool thing about this card is it's twofold. In the widespread game of Flesh and Blood, it changes a lot of decks. Like Oldheim can't just block you out in Arsenal anymore. If you deal 1 point of damage and you create an inertia token, they're not gonna have an Arsenal. They're not gonna have a Crown of Seeds activation next turn, which is really huge in that matchup, right? It's really good against other heroes that really want to, really good against Ranger, be really good against aggro heroes that want to have a good Arsenal. And if you can somehow stack this with like if you could stack this with like a frailty token, and then now they can't attack with a one like against a ninja, against Katsu, right? Which is in this set. If you can stack a frailty token with an inertia token, basically they can't attack with Kadachis. Their Arsenal card gets -1. They can't Arsenal a card later, and all their cards get wiped out. So like you essentially almost turn off that hand for a Katsu if you can get an inertia and a frailty token out. Really, really powerful. I think this is the most powerful thing. I think in the set, this token is pretty busted. It's really good against Ranger. It's really good against Katsu. Really good against Benji. So overall, I think it's just pretty nuts. But that's all three of them. There were some attack action cards, right, that were linked in this, as you can see where I cut it off. Definitely go check out the Flesh and Blood Discord or my Discord. I have all the spoilers being linked. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of these tokens. I think all three of these are super powerful effects. Blood Rot Pox is really good for like those long games where you really want to whittle down your opponent. Frailty is really good to like slow your opponent down. I think the cool thing is it seems like there's like similar cards. Like there's Spike the Blood Rot, Spike the Frailty or whatever, where it gives cards with stealth +3 and on hit create one of these tokens. So like you're gonna have to pick like what way you want to go and what form of like control you want to have, which I think is like peak Flesh and Blood personally. It's the way Flesh and Blood intended for control to be, in my opinion. But super excited for this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, we'll keep making these videos as stuff goes out. Try to get you everything you can. And yeah, hopefully I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much and have a good day.